Do you ever wonder why so many people are still buried in debt, living paycheck to paycheck despite having high-paying jobs? Author Charles A. Jaffe said that it's not your salary that makes you rich, it's your spending habits. Looking at it another way, it's not your modest income that gets you into debt, but the poor financial decisions you've made. Today, we will identify and dissect the number one bad financial habit that you need to break to start building wealth and have financial freedom. Financial freedom does not mean being free from the responsibilities of managing your finances. We actually have to be more responsible with our money to achieve financial freedom. It also does not mean we have to be a billionaire. It simply means we can enjoy life while also securing our future. It means we can spend our vacation in the Caribbean and book a ticket without being overly stressed by financial constraints. But why does it seem so elusive? Let us not underestimate the power of habit. Much has been written about it, and habits can make or break your financial future. Among the many habits that lead to financial ruin, the number one habit you should break is overspending. When you spend more than you earn, that is the sure way to accumulate debt. As debt piles up, you will have to work harder to keep up with the bills. Consequently, you are stuck in the rat race, working for long hours. To break the habit of overspending, we have to identify the causes of why people tend to overspend. Number 1. Not having a budget. Budgeting is creating a plan for how you're going to spend your money in a certain period of time. You need to identify all your fixed and anticipated expenses, then check whether your income is enough to cover it. Creating a budget doesn't have to take long, but the hours spent on making one can save you from going broke. Number 2. Not tracking income and expenses. Have you always wondered where your money went at the end of the month? This is why it's essential to keep track of your spending. Otherwise, you will find yourself in a situation you'll regret. It is very easy to lose track of your spending without some kind of an expense tracker. If you are not aware of where you spend your money, it is hard for you to identify which expenses you need to curb. You might overspend on your wants and not have enough money for your needs. The easiest way to track your finances is using an app that automatically reads data from your bank and credit card accounts. Our favorite app for this is Personal Capital from Empower. You grant it read access to your accounts, and it aggregates all the data for you into one place. This allows you to quickly see where your money is coming from and where it is going. Number 3. Impulse purchases. Some people really enjoy going out shopping. However, one trap we can easily fall into is impulse buying. Like the time I stopped at Trader Joe's on my way home from work. I was only there to pick up some groceries to make dinner. But while I was waiting in line, I saw the 72% dark chocolate and grabbed it. Before I knew it, I had spent more than I wanted on groceries. So be aware when you're out shopping and try to stick to what's on your list. Shopping while you're hungry is a sure way to impulse purchases. Number 4. Living on credit. When people first receive their plastic money, they are under the impression that they can now buy anything they want. It's like they have their own genie. Little do they know, when they put their purchases on credit indiscriminately, that feeling of having all your wishes granted with just one swipe will soon turn into a nightmare. Their increased purchasing power has led them to credit card debt. What's worse is when they only pay the minimum payment every month. The accumulated interest charges will balloon in no time. As a consequence, they will struggle to pay off their credit card in full. That increasing interest is an unnecessary expense. That money spent on paying for the interest charges could have been put towards building your emergency fund or investment account. Do not max out your credit card, and don't buy things you can't afford. If you don't have enough cash for something, then don't buy it yet. Save up for it. Apply the law of delayed gratification. Using credit cards is not necessarily bad. There are actually many advantages to having one if you know how to take advantage of them. You can earn rewards, rebates, and miles, which you can redeem and use for your future purchases. Learn to use them to your advantage. Number 5. Keeping up with the Joneses. Another factor that pushes people to overspend is when they try to keep up with the Joneses. Not just the Joneses in their neighborhood, but the Joneses in Hollywood too. That's hard to keep up with. You're setting yourself up for a mountain of debt towards financial disaster. James Clear, the author of New York Times bestseller The Atomic Habits, says that people fall prey to lifestyle creep. As income increases, their lifestyle also inflates. Instead of saving the extra cash, they feel like they have to upgrade their furniture, wardrobe, and everything else. To accelerate building wealth, try adopting a minimalist lifestyle. Instead of buying what your friends or the people on social media have, be intentional in downsizing your possessions. Less stuff means less money spent and less money maintaining that lifestyle. Now that we have identified the causes why people overspend, let us replace those bad habits with good ones. This is the road to building your wealth to achieve financial freedom. Number 1. Develop the habit of saving. How to save should be taught and developed at a young age. Sadly, many adults learn this habit way too late. Many complain, "What can I save? There's nothing left after paying all the bills?" Of course, this is because you did not pay yourself first. Save first, then spend, not spend, and have nothing left to save. Here's a rule of thumb for saving. 50-30-20. The 50% is for your needs, 30% for your wants, so you don't feel deprived, and 20% for savings. When you receive your salary, put away 20% of it. The average wage in the U.S. in 2020 was just over $52,000. That's $4,333 a month. Before paying your bills, transfer 20%, about $866 to your savings account. Then the remainder will be used to pay your bills and other needs. That's how you pay yourself first. That money you have stashed away can be put towards building your emergency fund or for a vacation to motivate you to work harder. To make this habit super easy, just set up an automatic transfer. Number 2. Adopt a frugal lifestyle. Being frugal does not mean being cheap. It means being economical and avoiding waste. When you are frugal, you choose to buy a good quality pair of shoes worth $100 that you can use for years over a $10 pair of shoes that wears out after wearing them a couple of times. You don't feel guilty about buying a new pair since they're cheap. But look into it closely. Which is cheaper? A $100 pair of shoes that you can use for 5 years, or the $10 shoes that you need to buy maybe 4 times a year? In 5 years, that would total to $200. That costs you an additional $100. That is not cheaper in the long run. Number 3. Set financial goals. Goals are roadmaps that direct our steps, shape our behavior, and turn the impossible into possible. Setting financial goals is the road that leads to financial freedom. They also help us to be more disciplined with our finances. Since you have a target to reach, you are intentional with your spending and saving. Some financial goals include starting a business, saving for retirement, or traveling around the world. These things will not happen if you do not take concrete steps to achieve them. Number 4. Invest. Just having a savings account can't significantly increase your wealth. Investing can. Many financial gurus recommend people to invest because that is a sure wealth generator. But before you jump into it, invest in your financial education first. Benjamin Franklin said an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Let's control our finances and build wealth together. What bad financial habit do you want to break? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Before leaving, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications whenever a new video is published, and we'll see you in the next one.